Wow, I'm so fired up. I've never seen a meeting fill up so quick. Unfreaking believable. People have been really excited for these, but I've never seen a group fill up this quickly. Unfortunately, I think we have more than 100 people signed up, but that's all good. I'll save it. I'll put it up so everyone else can get access to this information later. Like my Mexico jersey, it's my favorite. Let's crush it. So I've already got some questions from people, from some younger athletes. I'm gonna wait until the end, and we're gonna crush the video portion. And I'll just don't worry. If you guys have questions, I'll stick around. So if you guys want, you can start asking them now. You can start asking them later. Um, I never know how to start these things. The big thing, I know SG Elite. I think it's a newer club. I don't know if it was there when I was there, but you know what? I'm sure there's a lot of great athletes that are watching this, and I'm sure there are some athletes that not there yet. And I was one of those athletes. So I said, when I first started, I was a big soccer player. Started volleyball. I was like, man, I love this. This is me. In soccer, I was too slow. I was too short. I was too skinny. In volleyball, I was just like, all right, just bump the ball, easy. But you know what? It really wasn't easy. I realized early on how awful I was. I first got to JOs my first year. We got last place, and it was like, all right, I love the sport, but time for me to work. So just working, in the summer, all I did was play volleyball. It was like, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, in that my middle school friends went to a different high school. So my high school, I really didn't have any friends. And so that allowed me just to play so much volleyball. All I did was play volleyball. And it was amazing, right? So because I didn't have any friends, I can just commit fully to playing beach volleyball. Come back home, hit the ball against the wall. I just kept on improving, just so curious. How can I be better? How can I be better? And I think the big thing right now I'm feeling from athletes is a lot of fixed mindset, right? I'm good. I play good. I win. I play great. I'm happy. I don't play good. Don't play well. My team loses. I'm not happy. And you know what? After enough of this time, it's like, I don't want to experience this pain anymore. Right? I don't want to experience this pain. Because at the end of the day, it's like everyone wants to be loved and to love. And too much of this mindset, this fixed mindset, combined with failure, not feeling loved, and we're just going to quit, right? Luckily, I was not here. Here, growth mindset. So my parents, consciously, unconsciously, they always told me that, they were conscious of this. Maybe not consciously, they knew what they're doing with this growth mindset, but they always told me that they were proud how I competed. So sometimes I'd lose, and they still be like, proud how you competed. But I lost, but I sucked. This is what I was saying in my head. So, proud how you competed. And it was huge. So big. Because now, whenever I failed, it was just like, they still love me no matter what. And I love this game, and I'm just going to keep on working. Because what's the other option? Quit? I love this game, but I'm going to quit? That doesn't make any sense. So I just kept on grinding. Gotta be better. I want to be better. How can I be better? And at first, it was just playing volleyball, right? It's just playing volleyball. But then I was like, gotta get stronger, right? Gotta get stronger. And you can see the video or a photo on my Instagram from yesterday, I think it was. When I went to college, I was like, maybe 140 pounds, maybe. Compare that now, I'm 180 pounds. And here's the thing, the 3 years before college, I was working every day for a personal trainer, but you just don't, if you have that body type, you just don't see those gains, immediately. So again, it's just like big into the process, push into the process, not the outcome, right? Because when we put everything into the outcome, into this thing of the salvation, once we get there, if we get there, well, it's going to feel good for a while, but after a while it becomes a new normal. I want to make the varsity team so bad. I want to make the varsity team. All you care about making the varsity team, you make it. And after a while, it's like, oh, whatever, this is cool, but like, I want to do something else. I want to make something else, you know? But again, same thing, fixed mindset. I want to make the varsity team. You don't make the varsity team. I suck. You know, I'm the worst. I'm not very good. I can't accomplish anything. So it's a growth mindset. Invest in it, huh? The obstacle is the way. Because even if you don't achieve your goal, what you achieved along the way, discipline, responsibility, accountability, character. So no matter what, you win, right? And by pushing into the growth mindset, it doesn't matter if you make it or not, because you're along for the journey. You know, that's what matters the most, the grind, the hustle, being with the boys, working hard, growing yourself, mind, body. So there's a lot of ways I can go and talk about my journey. I'm going to make it short because I want you guys to get the most valuable value possible, and by asking me questions. But the big thing is everything that you've experienced and more, that is me, and that still is me. I still fail. I still have tough games. I still don't know what's going to happen next. You know, my Polish team just got cut. Probably going to lose a lot of money. Olympics, obviously, that's not even possible. Even if I were to make the team, it's not possible this year. Not playing volleyball with my boys right now. Not getting paid from USA. And so the big thing is just like, what is completely within our control? Club season, is that going to happen? Or are you going to play JOs? Is college going to happen? Is the coach going to choose me? Am I going to make the one team? Am I going to make varsity? Am I going to start? Am I going to be great? That's not completely within your control. What's completely within your control? How I set goals, my actions, my character, how I wake up every morning. Do I wake up with gratitude? Do I wake up with scarcity? My ability to give, my ability to love, my ability to be a great teammate. These things are within our control. These things correlate to these things. It's not a given, right? It's not a given, but these things are completely within our control. And if we're just crushing these things out every day, then yeah, more likely we'll probably accomplish our goals, even though I like to use goals as compasses, right? This is how we should work to get here. We devise a plan here, right? Because maybe you don't want to do all that stuff. It's like, well, I just want to be good enough, you know? But maybe it's like, I want to be the best ever. Well, then it's like, all right, what am I going to do? I'm going to meditate. I'm going to visualize. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to roll. I'm going to get extra reps before. I'm going to get extra reps after. In the summer, I'm going to play beach. Maybe my parents can't support me. I'm going to work an extra job and make sure I can play ball. You know, whatever it is, you're going to go all into these things that are within your control. Leave these things out here. They'll work themselves out. Because what I've realized, sometimes our personal preferences, short-term or long-term, our personal preferences, sometimes they are not a bridge to our highest self. You know, maybe I want this thing so bad, so bad, so bad, but me not getting it is going to help me learn more about myself. It's going to make me be that much tougher. It's going to make me appreciate volleyball that much more. I talked with a Canadian setter the other day, TJ Sanders, and he had a bad injury of his back. But you know what? When he got back on the court, it was like, man, I appreciate volleyball so much more now. I'm so, so grateful. And when he was able to qualify for the Olympics, it was worth it. It was way worth it. And if he had to go back, he said he would rather be injured because of what he had experienced to get back on the court, and just the feeling of love and joy and gratitude for having to go through this period where he couldn't play and now back on the court. So another lesson, don't be quick to judge. But all right, let's get to some video, huh? Let's study some video. And then again, write your questions. Crush them out. If you don't want to share it, you can write anonymously. So that's cool too. But let's watch two liberos that I really like to watch. One is the Polish libero, Paweł Zatorski, and then the other is Donny. I don't know how to say his name. I'll be completely honest. But he's a libero I've been watching kind of recently, and wow, really like him. He's really impressive. So let's get to Paweł. So Paweł, first thing to notice is, what is he doing with his hands? You can see the other two receivers, it's more or less normal, you know, arms out of his body. I like to talk about passing with three ways to prepare your arms. One, bent elbows, right? Two, maybe the arms are just straight down. You can see in area 5, he's like, I don't know why he's doing that. He doesn't do that in his professional league, but he's like straight out, right? And then the other, you can see Pavel is like this third type that only him and actually this Argentinian uses too. Only a few liberos use this in the world. And I think I'm actually going to start using it in this upcoming season because, again, I'm just curious for a better way. So what I like about this is when we pass, we're naturally going to come into our body, right? When someone teaches you how to play volleyball, they're not putting balls to your left or to your right. It's like, all right, here's the ball. He tosses it to you, put your arms together, and you pass forward. What do you do over and over and over again? Put your arms together, pass the ball. But in the game, that doesn't happen, right? In the game, we have to go to our sides. And so what happens, and where I see a lot of people fail, is they put their arms together, and then now when they go to the side, one, they're going to be slower, right? Slower reaching to the side. And then you can try this too at home. Put your arms together and move to your right. What you realize is not just your arms move, but your hips as well. When you lose your hips, you lose the angle. It becomes that much more difficult to put the ball to where you want to if you lose the angle. So what I like about what Pavel is doing, I don't know how to say his first name, Satorsky, is my idea why he does it is because he starts so wide that we naturally come in, right? But it takes so long to come together that we're able to be quick and reach out here. Instead of coming in and then out, it's here. So let's see how he does. Easy. First ball, middle, his body. And we're going to talk about this a lot in creating space. Number 8 is actually, kind of get off topic, one of my favorite names. I think it's pronounced Lozer, but it's always funny scouting this guy. So this is a way to create space, right? A lot of ways to create space because you can see he has enough room from his platform to his body, but what you're going to experience and what I'm sure you've experienced so far is when the ball hits your arms don't stay, huh? There's some blowback, right? And if that blowback hits your body, then what happens? Something has to give, right? Arms hit your body, hips give. Arms hit your body, hips give. And that's when you see the shanks, right? When we don't have space between our arms and our body, either on contact with the serve or after the blowback. So watch how he does. Creates the space by moving backwards. So this is something I really didn't even realize. I don't know how I didn't realize this, but until this year watching video that people do this, because I never do this. And by watching video, we can learn so much. We can learn so much. Our subconscious downloads this stuff by watching it. It's arguably better to learn than actually being on a court and having a coach tell you what to do, is to watch the best players in the world do it. I always like to use an example. When I was younger, maybe 8 or 9 years old, I never had a basketball coach, but I love basketball. I watched Kobe Bryant. I watched him do fadeaways. The next morning, I'd go outside and I'd do a fadeaway. Who taught me that? No one. I saw it in Kobe. My subconscious, that is a million times more powerful than the conscious mind that operates 95% of the time, only compared to 5% of the time. This is the subconscious, or the self too, which is described in the inner game of tennis. So watching volleyball is big. That's why I watch volleyball every day, 30 minutes to an hour, and just watching the best players, observing, being curious, not judging, just observing, being curious. So let's see. This is why. So look at his hands. So they come together, but a little bit on the left side, not in the midline, right? Not in the midline, just a little bit on the left side of his body. And because of this, he can be that much quicker outside of his body, and most importantly, in front of his body. Because when we're in front, then we're initiating the angle. When we're behind, now that angle is going to go to the bench. You can see his hips are still kind of opening up, but it looks like he was quick enough with his shoulders to put an angle, put the ball back in the middle of the court. Look at that, beautiful. That's why he's one of the best in the world. And we can see he opens up himself a little bit with the knee. I like this move a lot. So instead of the knee being in front, he opens it up. Boom. So this is another way to create space, right? It's not a big deal because his body's not in the way, but this is called what I like to call sacrificing, where you just throw your legs. It doesn't matter. You can go left, you can go right, you can go behind. You just throw your legs, and the only thing that matters is just the angle you give to the ball. Boom. I like this. Watch how his feet get set with this jump. Ready? The split step. Boom, boom. So you can see he bounces, and then when he does this, he's able to kind of recoil his legs to be in the most athletic, balanced, and explosive position for him to move left or right. Boom. Look at that. So nice. Another way to create space, the ball comes high, and just opening up the hips a little bit. He jumps too, but the big thing is just opening up the hips just a little bit to create space. Because when we're midline and we go high or low, well, our body gets in the way. And even if we're able to pass it, our angle's going to change. On the left side, at that last second adjustment, we can just open. Ball comes high, open. Keep the same angle. Just a little bit the hips. If we want, one foot can come up too. Let's see Pavel uses both feet. I like this. So watch both passers move from 1 and 6. So at the top level and the Polish level, almost for every server, every receiver is moving. And this is something that the libero needs to do. If you're a libero watching this, run the show. Don't just stand in the middle of the court, especially when you're in one. Play some games. Be a co-creator of the serve receive. Especially at the youth level, guys are not going to hit the sidelines. Guys are not going to aim for the sidelines. Even if they are aiming for the sidelines, it's not going to be hard. It's going to be softer, and you're going to have time to react. Where the best serves are going to happen are in the middle of the court. And so you can see with Lima, the scouting report is obviously that he is not tailored to go to area 1, because in Poland, that's actually arguably the worst passer for them. So he's stepping in. So there's a huge trend. And liberos, if you want to go even deeper, scout the servers. You have nothing to do at the tournaments. If you really want to be a great player, scout the servers. Where are they serving, huh? Get some feedback on it. How can you move your passers around? If you're in 1, for sure you're stepping in. Push area 6 over. Have him take less court. This might be worth 1 or 2 points a game, and that's huge. Think how many deuce games you've played in club. And just something like moving your players just a little bit over to avoid clean aces, to avoid ambiguous notions in the seam. So there's a lot of different ways where we can organize to serve receive and put ourselves and our team in better situations to receive. I like this tough ball to the right side. But look how quick he is with his left shoulder. Boom. And then you can see passes it a little bit on the outside of his body. So the blowback, there's not going to be any restriction coming and hitting his body. Boom. Stays on his feet. Really nice. I like this crossover step. So this is the first time I mentioned this. I think I got the information out to you guys. Maybe I didn't. For the receivers out there, I created a 7-day passing course. There's 2 versions of this. One, it's free. Just give me your email, and I have emails that are automated. Go boom, 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 boom. 7 days, 6,000 words. Each day, it's a different thing we talk about. And over here, if you really like the content, or you're just like, I'm all in, like I want to learn as much as I can. Again, going on with this thought that you learn more from watching video than you do from being told. And especially during this time when you can't play volleyball, I have 50 minutes of video in correlation with each subject we talk about on the email. But I talk about this because on days 4, 5, and 6, we talk about footwork, and I use Sergio as a guide. Maybe you guys don't know Sergio is, in my opinion, the best libero that has ever played, and probably ever. Maybe Zhenya will give him a run, but let's see. So on day 6, we talk about the crossover and how we can steal time and take half the court with half the time. So you see him use the crossover step, right? Boom. So you can see it's the first step. Rather than a shuffle, it's left, crossover, right, left. And look at that. He's able to hide the passer in area 5. He just takes the line, and the libero's able to take everything. This looks like a tough pass. Okay. So tough ball. You can see this ball floats in on him, and he's just a little bit off balance. Just a little bit off balance, leaning to the ball. And I'm guilty of this a lot of times too. Leaning to the ball, but you see what happens? The ball drifts back. Gets him on the right arm. It's tough. So we can pass well if we're leaning, but as most as much as we can, we want to work to be as balanced as possible. I like this example because this is the thing. When you're in one, pretty much every passer in the world does a little split step into the court. Usually it's just straightforward, but when you're in one, it's a little bit to the court. As I mentioned, I don't think this is a big deal for you guys because I don't think guys are hitting one. But if you are getting aced in area one towards the sideline, it's probably because you're doing this subconscious hop step towards the server. And so if you're getting aced, just start a little bit to the right, knowing that where you're hopping is where you think you're normally starting. So nice job. When we pass up our legs, I was writing about this today because now I'm creating a digging course. People want to learn how to dig as well. The big thing when you pass up your hands, I like two things. So one, I want to use the arms as a backstop, right? If we're here, hopefully you guys can see me. I can't see myself. If we're here, we have too many moving parts. This is moving. See all this movement? And then elbows too. This is moving here. So if we're not strong with our leg, I'll get to the legs. We're not strong with our legs. Now it's just the arms, the fingers, the elbows, and there's so many moving parts where the ball can go through my hands. But if we come here, ball pushes back and just, there's nothing, right? There's nothing here. So I like being here because it's like a backstop. So the tighter the elbows get, I think the stronger we are, and the less likely the ball will go through our fingers. And then as you see with Zatorsky here, look how strong his legs are. When we pass and we dig with our hands, we're not really passing with our hands. Our hands are touching the ball, but we're using all the strength, foundation from the floor and from our legs. So we're able to absorb it and use our hands as the backstop, but the power really comes from our legs. If we lose our legs, we lose our ability to put power on the ball going back up. So again, watch how he explodes up on the contact. Legs, 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 legs. Upon contact, explodes up. Uses all of his legs. When we pass with our hands, we're passing with our legs. So we need that strength. Here's another idea for liberos. Good server, big server. Bring the opposite in. If he wants to hit the line, good. Okay, let him. The opposite will just dig in. Because if it's a big server and he's acing balls in the 6 seam, in the 5 seam, in the 6 and 1 seam, then you know what? Squeeze the court and tell the server, hey, you think you're so good? Hit the line. You know, because now he has the possibility of missing. Not only deep, but with the sidelines. So this is a great idea for big servers that have a little more range. And again, look how much court he's able to take. By bringing the opposite in, he's able to pass the ball pretty much in area 6. And how he creates space, he keeps his legs moving. Keeps his legs moving. All right, I like this one. We'll leave it with this one and move on. So flow serves, we're going to have to push a little bit, right? On jump serves, the balls come with enough speed where we can just leave our angle. But you can see with this ball, he just pushes a little. Just pushes a little. So balls hit the tape, balls that are low, and some flow serves, there has to be a little push. But you can see he keeps his wrist and his elbows locked. The pushing is coming from the elbows. We always want to be as simple as we can. Less moving parts. Again, like I said with hands, less moving parts here. So it's the same thing. If we're going to push, use our elbows or use our legs to push. Not our elbows, not our wrists, because then we'll also break them. And we won't be able to hold and give ourselves feedback. All right, let's watch the Argentinian libero. I really like him. Come on. Oh my God, 27 serves. All right, he got to work. So I like this guy. He takes a lot of court. And again, this is something liberos you can do. It's not necessarily that your receiver is a bad passer or you need to shame them. You know, sometimes they're not going to be having a great day in receiving. But as a receiver, you can do so many other skills. You can serve, you can attack, you can block, you can dig. So having some foresight and just being like, all right, man, I feel you. You're struggling right now. Like, I got you. Like, let's do this. Or you just allow him to focus more on attacking. It's not that he's passing bad, but maybe when he doesn't pass, he hits better. So I like it. Nice job by him. You can see the split step, how he bounces. and he lands as the ball's coming. And what do you see? He doesn't really land on both feet, but he lands on his left foot first, and with that left foot, he pushes. Gets behind it, balance. The more balanced we are, the better foundation we're going to have to pass better over and over time. We can pass good when we're lunging, if we're leaning, but consistently, no. So the ball gets behind him a little bit. Let's see. You can see how his hips open up? Because the ball gets behind him, hips open up, and that's where the ball goes. Exactly where his hips are facing is where the ball is going to go. And for sure, he does not want it to go there, but this is what happens if we're a little late with our tracking or just a little late with our arms in front of our body. And as I mentioned in this passing course, I give three different ways to start with our arms to create even more space before the ball is served. Nice. Again, just taking a lot of court. Really like to see this. Hiding Palacios. Ball takes a tough move on him. I think he could have been a little quicker. I just don't think that's as fast as he could have moved. And you can see now he gets in a deep squat. Ball makes a weird movement. And now, again, his hips open up. You lose the hips, everything is complicated much more. Nice job. So this is how I know he can move. Look at this. So look at this split step. Boom, how fast he moves to the ball. Gets the ball inside of his body. Great pass. So let's compare. Just a little slower, huh? Here, look how fast he is. Boom, boom, boom. So just like setting, I think you always want to work as fast as you can to get there rather than just trying to time it. As fast as you can with footwork. We'll watch a couple more because I know not everyone is a receiver. So I'll get to some questions. Nice job, tough serve. Look how high it is. But what he does is to create that extra space, he just keeps on stepping back. So it's not a good pass, but you know what? Good pass on the quality of the serve. Nice job. So on the right side, it's tough because as Americans, we're always taught left is right, right is wrong. Or at least that's how I was taught. So we have to be really quick with our left arm, recognizing, seeing the line, and shooting the elbow, shooting our left side over. Boom. Look how quick he is outside of his body. And then again, like really good receivers, see how he turns open his knee. He turns open his knee and just gives it a little more space, right? A little more space to operate. Great pass. Then create more space, he just falls. There's nothing wrong with falling. Consistently, if we're doing this every time, then yeah, maybe there's something wrong with it. But you know what? If it's a hard ball in the seam, if it's a ball that's deep, fall. It's not a big deal. All right, one more jump serve. So great pass. So good serve by Kochanowski. And you can see there's a little spin, a little tail spin. So his initial angle is on the left side of his body. But at the end, he realizes it's coming to his midline and kind of off balance as he was lunging to his left. And so what he has to do is just fall. Fall and create that space. And great pass. Boom. All right, I know not everyone's receivers, and so I'll leave it open to some questions. Oh, you guys have been killing it. That's great. So we got a lot. How long is this? However long you want it to be. You can leave whenever you like. If you want to stay, that's cool too. How did you decide to create your list, and did you start small and get big to do them more often? Ooh, man, you know your stuff. Wow, did some homework on me. Yeah, so I just did a Skype with a college speaking about the list. When I created the list, I was in Finland, and I was realizing that, you know what, this might be the last contract I get. If I don't get my butt in shape, this might be it. So I started my list because I'm sure you guys know League of Legends. At the time, I was playing Dota, and man, the dopamine for that game is crazy, right? You win a game, and you're like, oh, I feel good. Let's keep it going. You lose a game, you're like, oh, gotta get back. Lose another game, okay, just one more. Win a game, you're like, all right, one more, I feel good. And then it's like 5 hours. It's like, what have I done today, right? And so my first 2 years, I was living college 2.0, playing video games, staying up late, and none of this stuff aligned with my true goal, which was to grow and to be a great volleyball player. And so I still wanted to play Dota, right? And so I started to make a list. It's like, all right, I gotta start reading. Big thing, I gotta start reading. I'm losing my mind. my mentality, bringing some sports psychology books, started reading. So on the list, it was work out every day, read, stretch, and then to make myself not feel so bad about playing so much Dota, in between the cues, I would do some push-ups and sit-ups. And so I put it on my wall. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, this is what it looks like. All these things are little micro tasks. And I put it on my wall, and if I completed something, highlight it. If I didn't, circle it. And it just held me accountable with the things that I believed was important to my growth. And why I love the list so much is because it holds you accountable. You know, who are you? What are you working for? Do you really believe in yourself? Are you really committed for your growth? Because you know what, the list isn't for everyone. If you just want to do your job, clock in, go home, watch TV, play video games, okay, it's fine, do it. But if you want to like grow, if you want to accomplish big goals, yeah, you got to hold yourself accountable. You need to sacrifice. And with the list, it holds yourself accountable. How am I doing? How am I working? Do I just work on days I feel good? Do I work on days I feel bad? Or am I always working? Can I add stuff to the list? My list started with 4. Now I have 23. And so just hold yourself to the version of yourself that you believe you can be. And I love this. Great question. Almost as good as the first question. Hi, Dustin. Do you have any tips for creating a more even platform? The ball tends to come off on one arm than the other. I feel it may be from one shoulder, lat being tighter. Yeah. So let's see if I can show you this. I like doing this. Put your arms together, put them in your knees and squeeze. Watch TV and do this. It works. Any good tips on hard-driven balls? Creating the angle, right? The big thing is just the angle. If you put your arms out, the ball hits you, the ball's going to go up, right? Where it gets tricky is if we don't have a great angle right before contact, now we have to do stuff with our elbows. Now we have to do stuff with our wrist. And so it gets tricky there. Any good tips for on hard-driven balls? I just answered that. I don't know why I read that again. When did you start thinking volleyball was fun? As soon as I started playing it. Do you still get nervous before you play? Yes, but it's normal. It's kind of like this fight or flight, like, oh, you know, like, is this going to work out? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? But yes, I can see this. And then, but the big thing is, like, this is great because this kind of builds you up for it. You know, you get some adrenaline in. And so when I think I'm nervous, I just say, no, I'm excited. You know, they're so interchangeable. So if I feel like nerves, I'm just like, no, I'm excited. And I'm excited because I prepared. I prepared well. If you're nervous, you didn't prepare well. At least this is what I tell myself. I can't speak for you. Do you think your realization to your journey started when the son of that family that gave you his watch? Ooh, yeah. So you watched that video. That's awesome. This switched everything around because before I was like, I want to be a great volleyball player. I want to be strong. I want girls to like me. I want to make money. I want to play in the biggest leagues. I want people to look up to me. Like, these were my goals. Whereas then it was like, you know, for most of these things I still want to accomplish because this is the process of me growing. But I also want to be loving. I want to be compassionate. I want to give rather than take. So everything started switching. And yeah, definitely my path diverged. You go back and talk to yourself during your time in high school club, what would you emphasize knowing what you know now? Yeah. I would just say meditate and journal. These are things that are completely within my control. And it just brings more clarity and more confidence. And I think that's so important. So meditate and journal. And these things are available to you as well. What makes certain players stand out on the court? Okay, that's fine. I think just their confidence and just being unshakable. And this either comes with being a freak athlete and just always playing volleyball and being great, or doing the mental work. So, do you have any bad habits in volleyball? How did you break them? Yeah, I do a lot of reaching. Just working, you know, getting understanding it, being honest with yourself, and just working on it. So a lot of work to do before, after practice, visualization, mindfulness, journaling. What was it like transitioning from playing high school and club to playing college? It was tough. My first open gym I played, because when you go to college, you'll play open gym in the fall because you can't necessarily be with the team and the coach right away. My first open gym, I played against the current guys and some of the guys that just graduated. And I got aced. I shanked everything. I was just like, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. Like, I was just like, I just stuck with it. Just every day, just worked really hard. And it wasn't an overnight success. It took me a while. I redshirted my first year, just focused on lifting and just slowly get better. So it's a big jump in level, that's for sure, because you're going to be playing guys instead of 1 or 2 years older. Now you're playing these guys 4 years older. And that's a pretty big difference. What do I focus on mentally and physically when you go away to play pro? Everything. That's a tough question. My nutrition, how I work out, how I stretch, how I roll, how I sleep is a big deal. Factors that lead to good sleep: cutting off blue light early, putting on blue light glasses, not having caffeine too late at night, getting extra reps before, getting extra reps after. These are pretty much all things that are on my list. And so I already know, like, it's pretty clear, like, what I need to do, and then taking those steps and doing it. What did you do as a player to stand out for college coaches? I don't think I did anything like consciously, like, hey, look, coaches, I'm standing out. But I think what I did really well is I was just like very assertive, very aggressive, and very confident on the court. I was passing like 50, 60% of the court on float serves, really aggressive. I had a ton of energy, like always running around, giving my teammates energy. And I think it's a big deal because that's character. The coaches can coach everything else, but they can't necessarily coach character. Maybe at Long Beach State they can coach character, because I really have I really think a lot of the coach there. Do you think your main purpose for your life and for playing volleyball is that you give all you have to the world? And yeah, absolutely. You know, I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about other people. I learned so much about bigger themes in life by being able to play volleyball. And hopefully I can give back. You know, this is a very interesting time for me in a good way, because I can't make any money off of volleyball right now. I just lost a ton of money from my pro contract from USA Volleyball. I don't think I'm going to get paid a dime this year. And so I'm just creating, taking everything I've learned here from the 10 plus years as a pro, as Team USA, playing college, and just trying to create products and services that can benefit younger players. And the thing too is pretty interesting. It's like, even if these things are beneficial, are people even going to want to consume it? Whether it's free or paid. Do people want it? I don't know. And so I really like this point right now because I'm in a really creative spot. I'm working really hard. I don't know if you guys have read the 7-day passing course I created. That's for free. I have a 7-day passing video course that isn't for free. I think I'm biased because I created it. I'm biased because I'm selling it. But man, I think this is just of so much value. Even if myself a year earlier could have had this video series, I would have learned so much. And so for young kids, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 22, for them to access this, especially during this time where they can't even play, I think it's so powerful. But at the same time, I don't know what resonates with people. It's easy for me to believe this, and maybe arrogantly so, but even providing a service that I think is like really impactful, I don't even know if people are going to want to use it, buy it, or take the edge. I'll do a couple more in the Q&A, and then I'll go to the chat because there's 2 sections. I'm a fan of your Instagram recipes. What's your favorite vegan recovery shake? I like greens, almond butter, cinnamon, turmeric, and ginger. I like that. Who has been the most inspirational person to influence your life? Parents, Scott Zazinski, Tom Hoff. I would say Tom Hoff and Scott Zazinski are older volleyball players. All right. Oh man, we have so many. How hard is it to play volleyball in tournament? And someone has said, how well do you think you play volleyball? I think I play volleyball very, very well. Before I've been like kind of reluctant to say stuff like that, but like now next year will be my 4th year in Poland. I don't know how many foreign liberos I've done that many years in Poland, and played in Brazil, played in France, for being the second libero, pretty much always the second libero on the national team. That's a pretty intense resume. So to be honest, but kind of arrogant, yeah, I think I'm really good at volleyball now. Hugo, sorry about not making you a panelist. Shoot, my bad. Arguably, you pass 5-6 rotations every game and practice daily against the best servers in the world. What have you learned? Well, you can read everything I've learned. I'll put it down here. I mean, everything I've learned is on this website. You know, like I said, I don't know. It's like I said, people ask me a lot in Instagram. They're like, "What can you tell me about passing? What can you tell me about passing?" And on Instagram, I have like maybe like 80 words I can write, and that's it. And it can help them, I think. But like with this format, it's like an automated email format, and so all you have to do is sign up, and you pretty much know everything that's inside my head about passing. I talk about split step. I talk about preparation for arms, individual arms, why it's better than moving with 2 arms. 3 days of passing or footwork, and then how to create space. Pretty much everything inside my head about passing is on this, and it's for free. And if you want to go even further, let's see. I'll show you guys this. Because one, I think it's of great value, and honestly, I also like it because I don't have any money right now. No, that's not true. But let me see where it is. I think my buddy just deleted everything. Okay, I don't really have it, but I can show you kind of a preview. So check this out. So this is what I show like kind of on my on the video series, where we break down all the techniques I talk about, and I'm able to use the video portal I have that you guys watched today, and just watching all the players and how they move, and pretty much everything I talk about in the email, I use a player to address it, and how you can create your own style, because there's not just one style to play. Show you how the Brazilians play, how the Polish players play, how the French people play, and so you can learn however style you want to play with. You can be a co-creator. I think this also helps with the learning experience, because it's not so much a fixed mindset. It is growth mindset, because you're constantly learning how to be how to obtain this style. So passing thoughts, noeasybuckets.com. If you guys want to get that, the website is dustinwatten.cells.com. If there's big interest, I haven't been doing this, but I can put a promo code so you guys can get it for less. I can give you guys a discount on it if you guys want that. Talk with Hugo. Thank you guys for the comments. Hello, Dustin. Aside from your limits, do you have any tips or cultivating habits and structure? Yeah, with the list. The list is a big thing. That is 100% how you do it. Hopefully that question was before the list. If you guys want to see and learn about the list, you can go to noeasybuckets.com. That's where my blog is, and my first 2 blog entries are about the list, and it's like maybe like 5,000 words. Like, it's a lot. I wrote a lot about the list. How much communication is happening in game at the international level? How important it is is it that communication, huddling together with your team between points? I coach 13s, and the frequency of those two things tend to dictate our level of play. Absolutely. There's some teams on the pro level, they don't communicate at all. But you know what? The best teams communicate. They're always like talking. Here's what I'm doing. I'm blocking, I'm pinching. I'm going to serve this guy, screen him. I have this seam. For me, when I can communicate, I'm going to do it as much as possible. Always clarifying, I have this seam. We're moving left. We're moving right. We're pinching in. You have that seam. Watch his short serve. He likes to float after the timeouts. As much as communication definitely correlates with your team winning. Do I think the McKibben brothers are some of the best beach players of this time currently? No. But they're my friends, and so I can say that. They are not. They're the best at producing video content, but not the best. They're on their way, though. Awesome. I think we did it. I'll send out an email to Hugo with some more stuff. Hugo, I'm so sorry. I bonked. My bad. If you guys like this, if there's some people that missed out, maybe we can do another one. If you guys have a different theme you want to talk about, not so much volleyball, but mindfulness, we can do that as well. And then I really recommend you to enter your email and get the emails. Free passing advice from me. Not saying that I'm anything crazy, but like I spend a lot of time passing the ball. It's my job. And so hopefully maybe you don't take a ton of value, but just even a little value, because you know what? You gotta take every edge you can get. If you want to be great, take every edge you can get. So that's free. The video series, you guys can buy on that website. If there's a lot of interest, I'll put together a promo code, make it a little easier on you guys. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, write me on Instagram. Happy to be of service any way I can. So thank you guys for letting me be here. Namaste. Talk to you later.